Scape and stuff. So in this game, people think it's like any normal battle royale, which it isn't. This game is a very unique in the sense of gameplay and weapon mechanics and movement. So first, I'm gonna take it over to the settings really quick. Something that I feel is very something that is catered to each individual person, but I find that some kind of guideline is required in this game because the sensitivity for controller especially is really fast, and until the developers find a way to fix it, I find that the settings that I'm running right now are the best at the point from the ranges that I'm using. So just gonna go right down the list. So vertical sensitivity, horizontal sensitivity. I find that if it's best between 20 and 35. I have 23 and 25 vertical and horizontal sensitivity respectively. For vertical, I have it a little bit less than the horizontal because I find the vertical sensitivity is a little bit faster than the horizontal sensitivity off the bat. Now, when it comes to controller ADS, low zoom sensitivity and high zoom sensitivity, I keep it the same. Because at the rate of which each of them turn when you're going horizontally or vertically, I find that it's best to keep it consistent and not to change that at all. Because if you're shooting with a Ripper, for example, and then you want to switch to a different gun, that gun may have a different sensitivity than the Ripper. So if you change it, so I find just keeping it the same just simplifies everything. Looking vertical, obviously disabled. That's just weird. The dead zone for controller, for some reason it was set to 10 before, which I don't understand, so you want to put the dead zone as low as possible. Aim assist, standard. This stuff is honestly preference, whatever your preference is. Like, for me, toggle crouch just makes sense, toggle sprint. Automatic vault I turned off, because in this game you want to have as much control as possible, and you don't want to be just randomly grabbing onto a ledge off a building when you're falling down. Damage stacking, I find I want it as a short delay because I want to see how much damage that I'm dishing out to someone. Instead of it just being this, for example, if I'm using the hex fire, I don't want to keep seeing 4 4 4 4 4 4 4. That's not telling me enough information. I want to know exactly how much damage I'm dealing to that person. So I'll have it where it's a damage stack, so I can see, okay, this guy is at 90 health, so I can pull out my riot one and shoot them like that, just to finish him off or something like that. It's more information. The more information I have, the better you're able to understand and play. Again, all the rest of this stuff is preference. Yeah. Now, I want to go to the controller layout preset really quick. So for me, I use button ping, which I don't see a lot of people using. But the reason I do it is I just find that this is the closest that it's going to get to where I feel most comfortable. For me, I like my crouch button to be my right stick. And there's another one, jump shoulder, where it's the same thing, the right stick is crouch. But the thing is, I don't like this one is because the jump button is left bumper. Now, in this game where you're moving around a lot, jumping, shooting at the same time, some may say having your jump button as a bumper is easier for you to hit fire, jump, shoot at the same time. I agree with that to some extent. Because I feel like if you're just jumping, it's awkward. That's what I'm trying to say. For me, it is. For you, it might be a completely different story. Maybe you love having your jump as left bumper. But coming from traditional shooter games or whatever, X has always been the go-to for me. Or, I believe it's A for Xbox, but... So I use button ping, but you have to use see, there's the default one, not that bad. Again, I like my crouch on right stick. So your preference, I like button ping, that's what I use. Moving on. Okay. Video brightness, I mean, you mess around with that. Audio, mess around with that. Here we go. Okay, so this is something I changed. So I have a colorblind mode on. I'm not colorblind, but I find that Protonopia is actually a lot better than the default when in terms of being in a gunfight. Because in the default, let me show you. In default, you look at the characters, and then all you see is like their clothing. If they're the default character, okay, there's the red, orange. Then look at the outline, red, orange. There's just it's too much red. And I get that red means it traditionally like a red is being like a bad guy or whatever, like the enemy person. But I feel like okay, let's grab a Ripper or okay. So when you're aiming in, look at the reticle as well. So for the Ripper, Harpy, I think pretty much every weapon, if they have an iron sight type thing, it's red. So when you shoot, it's a bunch of red. You can't really. Sometimes you can't even see it. It can just blend in, and then you'll just start like missing shots because you see the red and stuff. You don't want to do that. If you go to Protonopia, on the other hand, let's see, Protonopia. There we go. If you go to Protonopia, look, it's still red on the outline, but the health bar is yellow, and that little difference is big. And if you do it, the reticle is also yellow. So you can see the yellow contrasts with the red. Because this is yellow, it's not a lot of sensory information that's overloading to me. So for me personally, I can see better. The reticle is clear. It is on the person. There's no doubt about it. With the red, it looks like the reticle can be on the person itself. That is all. It's too much red. That's what I'm trying to get across. So yeah, I mean, again, personal preference. For me, this is easier to see. Okay, moving on. Weapons. So the weapons in this game, some say they don't do enough damage, which I can understand. But I mean, look at this. If you shoot someone like this, a base Ripper has what, 24 bullets? You shoot all bullets. Let's see. All body shots, you can kill someone in 10 bullets with a Ripper. 10. I mean, for a gun that has 24 bullets base, and it's 10 bullets to kill, that's pretty much, if you hit most of your shots, you can kill 2 people with 1 clip. And I mean, and then obviously when you fuse the Ripper, or most guns actually, the magazine increases. Une arme fusionnée au max est un puissant outil pour dominer le champ de bataille. Change that. General spoken language. I don't know why it's French. It's kind of weird. All right. So when you do that, again, 30. And keep in mind, it takes 14 bullets to kill someone. So again, it's just giving you a chance to miss a few more shots. So look, ready? Those are my few shots I missed. I go over here. Kill 2 people. Reloading. I saw 4 bullets left. So I mean, it depends on if you're able to hit your shots. The guns in this game do damage. They definitely. It's not like they're pea shooters or whatever. You can definitely kill someone, especially if you hit headshots to this thing. Look at this. That's, I don't know. That's pretty good to me. That's a pretty good time to kill. Harpy too. Have to reload. Harpy's a bit slower, but honestly, if you can just get right in their face, especially hitting headshots in there, it can melt. Okay. So, next thing I want to look at is bloom in this game. So let's get rid of these. So for me, the Ripper is a very reliable weapon. You can't go wrong with this thing. It's good, like medium range like this. I'd even consider this short range still. Where's the sniper thing? Right here. It's good at medium range, short range, good at long range engagements like this. It can beam people, so that's why it's a good starter weapon to look at this. So if I'm standing right here, and I'm aiming in, I'm not gonna do anything with my right stick. I'm just gonna shoot, and we're gonna see what happens. So it's all lined up, we're gonna shoot. Need to reload. So if you look here, this is the recoil pattern. It's a vertical recoil pattern with a little bit of random horizontal movement. Now, coming from a game like Apex, this seems like a very manageable thing to control. Because a lot of weapons like the R301 or the Spitfire, they have a vertical movement. if you don't adjust your aim at all. So keeping this in mind when you're shooting, you have to have a little bit of your joystick, your front controller, or just a little bit of moving your mouse a little bit down if you're on PC, to where you want to hit the center of the target. So you just aim it a little bit down. You don't want to do it too much, and that's where the dead zones come in. You want fine adjustments. So if you have a large dead zone thing, you could go like you can't do the small movements. So you would shoot here and then you would shoot down here. But if you have good dead zones and good aim, you can just keep it nice and centered, like that.
Have to reload.
And adjust accordingly. Sometimes it'll go a little bit to the left, you kick it a little right. But the main thing, you want to hit most of your shots in the middle. This is a good practice thing that I do sometimes. Just try to keep that in that middle.
Need to reload.
And in terms of when you're shooting at a person, I find, especially with guns in this game, I don't immediately go for headshots unless I'm going with a riot. If I'm using the assault rifle, I would definitely start aim at the chest. The natural kick is going to hit the headshots like that. So if you want aim a little bit lower, if someone just in front of you, and the natural kick is going to lift up. Like so. You aim around here, and it'll kick up, and then you can start controlling it when it gets too high. Same thing with the heartbeat. You aim down sights, it'll go up a little bit, and then you gotta just bring it back down. Up, down, like that. There we go. Okay. Next thing we're gonna look at is the hex fire. Now, right now the meta on console is the hex fire, and it's and looking at PC gameplay, I see this thing rarely in use.
Reload.
And the reason for that is because PC has understood that weapons that, like the Ripper especially, it just, the damage speaks for itself. And at longer ranges, this thing is much more efficient than the hex fire. So what I find is that on console, people would use the hex fire like this. So they would hop around, spray and spray, just keep missing like this, just keep going like this, they just keep spraying. What I think that as time goes on and their aim and mechanics get better, I'll think that less and less people will use the hex fire. But for right now, this thing is, yeah. I mean, the damage is there if you hit most bullets. Even in this range, I mean, the damage is there, and the accuracy is there. Here, not so much. Like, this is if someone is standing still, keep that in mind. Imagine someone's moving around at that range. Not that good. With the Ripper, on the other hand, if someone's moving, you can have definitely more accurate shots. And you can kill them faster. Now, let's look at here. If I shoot the hex fire, there is no recoil whatsoever. I'm not even touching my right stick, this is just me shooting. And then if I hit fire with it,
reloading.
That's the spread. So you can already see this is a relatively close range. Now, most of these bullets would be hitting the target area, which is the chest. But these stray bullets, these would be missing. These would be going over the shoulder, like this. Like through the arms, especially. I see this a lot, like through the arms.
Have to reload.
With the Ripper, again, remember, we shot like this. Nice and centralized. And even Ripper hipfire is actually pretty consistent. Relatively speaking. I mean, most of these are going to hit. There's a couple stray bullets, which is to be expected. It can't be a straight laser. If you shoot this target with the hexfire now, again, most of the bullets will hit target area. Some missing up here. This is where we can see like a lot of bullets are being wasted, and that's just if they're standing still. This will probably do I'd say maybe 60 damage. Not even. That's probably half. All those bullets will probably get you to half health. Now, moving on. Alright, we did all these three. Snipers, yes. Sorry, I just came from playing Apex, kinda. There we go. And there we go. Okay.
Base weapon
Protocol.
acquired.
This thing is amazing. Honestly, one of my favorite snipers of all time. I mean, it speaks for itself. Even if you have this thing based, it does a 75 damage headshot. Paired with a Ripper,
Improvement.
I don't keep going back to the Ripper, but this thing is just amazing. Paired with the Ripper, boom. The fact that the bot just got destroyed in maybe less than 3 seconds, that speaks for itself. The damage that this thing can do. Even if you hit a body shot, say base protocol, hit a body shot, boom, 50 damage. That's almost half the health gone, and then you just finish him off with the Ripper. That's what, 5 seconds? When you fuse this thing, on the other hand, this just speaks for itself. You can just click heads.
Need to reload.
Super far away, no damage fall off whatsoever. No damage fall off, no bullet drop, no need to adjust for shots, nothing. Any range, one shot, headshot. Ridiculous. Dragonfly, I have a love-hate relationship with this weapon. Because in the training, look at this. You shoot it. Oh, look, it's a melter, right? I mean, it took 7 bullets to kill someone. Headshots, 27 damage multiplier. That's more than, that's a little less than 2 times. Range is good.
Reloading.
The kick is annoying, but it's manageable. And you get, if you have a good trigger finger, I mean, this can spray someone down. What I find in game is that if I try to use this thing in game,
Qualitative improvement.
the thing you gotta realize is that people are jumping and moving, and a weapon like this, it's very hard to hit someone with this thing. Especially if they're in your face, or if they're far away moving, because this thing you have to adjust your shots if they're moving. There's no bullet drop again, no bullet drop. But if someone's like up here and you're like, you have to try to hit them. This is where the sensitivity again comes into play. Slower and sensitivity, you have to hit more shots. So for me, I don't pick this thing up, but I mean, if you hit your shots, I mean, this thing can shred.
Need to reload.
Max Dragonfly.
Better.
Know this. 31 headshot, 21 body shot. So if someone has 120 health, so max health. You can kill someone in 6 body shots. And 1, 2, 3, 4 headshots.
Check.
4 headshots, yeah. So it's, if you can hit your shots, I definitely think this is definitely something you can run. It's a 4-tap headshot. I mean, not the best in terms of gameplay, but I don't know. It's an okay weapon. Okay, moving on to the grenade launchers. So the Skybreaker I see very much used in PC lobbies, and the reason is that with a game that is focused on verticality, you're always gonna be your main goal is to have high ground over your opponent. There's really no excuse for an opponent to be higher than you, and if they are, and if they have a Skybreaker, you're dead. If the damage on this thing is pretty mediocre close range, 36. I mean, for one shot and then a recharge 36, you feel like you want more than that. If you back up, however, and shoot, 44, and look at the splash damage there. Did you see the splash damage? Here.
Reloading.
Oh, I'm gonna do it. Right there. If you're able to, you can get able to get a chain reaction if they hit your arm. I find that if it's in the arm, would it do it here? No, see, we're too close.
Have to reload.
You see that? Look, if we do this thing point blank, 15 damage. That's not good. What people would do, here, let's go over to the hacks. What people do, which is actually a really good strategy if you want to run this thing, they would take slam, teleport, or shockwave, one of the 3. I got shockwave. So if they do this, they're up here, shoot. 44 damage. That's just a base Skybreaker. Shockwave again. 44. And this
Some hacks may benefit in other ways from fusion. Experiment for yourself to find the fun.
Okay. The way this game works is that sometimes you want a lot of health taken at once, and then you can mow them down. This is exactly what the Skybreaker accomplishes. You're able to take a chunk of health,
Need to reload.
and you're able to follow it up with another shot of a different weapon. Whether it be a Riot, a Ripper, Hexfire if you're into that, Dragonfly, whatever. The same token goes for the Mammoth as well, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Now the Salvo and Komodo. These are two weapons that I really don't use, and the reason for that is that I find there's better weapons just in general. Here, I'm gonna fuse these up to max so you can actually see like how good they are. So max salvo. Let's see how much damage. 28. So 28 with 10 bullets in it. Okay, so it's a 4-shot pretty much. Excuse me, 5-shot. It's a 5-shot. Now, most engagements in this game are on rooftops when someone is on high ground. If you're the one on the high ground and you're firing at someone at low ground, the Salvo and the Komodo are your best friends. Because at height, very easy to aim, and the damage speaks for itself. Like, it can be very good. But again, like most of the grenade launchers, the Komodo, up close, 9 damage. This is a fully maxed Komodo. 9 damage this close. And the meta, and especially on console where people are barrel stuffing with hex fires, this is not going to cut it. No, this is too slow. Now, for the Salvo up close, it'll still do the same damage. So which is why I find the Salvo the better overall weapon, but at range the Komodo is better. Oh, okay, he disappeared. Get him back here. At range, this thing is better.
Reloading.
There's more damage, more like, and this thing also keep in mind the Salvo can also bounce off walls. Like this, so you can bang shot it, which can make for some pretty cool trick shots. I'll admit that. But for regular gameplay, I would not recommend this weapon. The Salvo, you're just gonna get outplayed by people just running better combos, unless you can pair it with something, again, a Ripper or something like that. You're not gonna see much use out of this thing. Which is unfortunate. I mean, it's a very cool weapon. Both of these are very cool, especially the Komodo. I really enjoy like the concept of it. And maxed out, it's not even that bad.
Reloading.
But with people like jumping around and stuff, I mean, if you shoot at their feet, it'll still have a pretty decent splash damage. Like here, it'll hit for 21, 25 here. So it's actually pretty consistent at range. But yeah. For me, definitely not one of the weapons I would use. Okay. Favorite category right here. Start with a Mammoth.
Weapon obtained.
Definitely an A tier, S tier weapon. If you hit your shots with a Mammoth, base, it's a 2-shot.
Reload.
With a max Mammoth having 9 bullets, you can pretty much kill an entire squad with 1 clip of this thing, if you're close enough. The headshot on this thing is pretty good. 105 base.
Ammo check.
So, this one has 120 health, 105, they're at 15 HP, followed up with a melee attack. Melee is 10 damage, by the way, if you didn't know. The thing with a Mammoth, though, you have to get good at jumping. Jumping and shooting is crucial with this thing. ADSing, I mean, I would recommend ADSing in some instances, where especially if you're farther away from someone. You see, oh hey, look. This guy respawn. Okay, if we ADS and shoot, 52, 52 again. So if you want a more precise shot, I'd suggest ADS, but look, it's the same damage. We ADS 52, 50. That's just when we ADS, just one more pellet hit, so just that much more damage. But I mean, it's pretty consistent either way. It'll still do the same amount of damage most of the time, but if someone's farther range like this, I suggest maybe getting it like this or like this. It's preference, really. This is if you want to just like aim your shot, you know. If not, if you're comfortable like this, go for it. I mean, this thing, it's very good. The mammoth is definitely good. The reason I don't use it as much is just I find that my aim with it, it's pretty bad. So I personally need to practice more with this thing. In training, it looks like I'm good with it now, but that's because everyone's standing still. If everyone's standing still, see, look at this. Even having like a little bit of trouble here. Yeah. Now, onto my. So that's the mammoth, pretty much. So now onto my favorite weapon in this game, the riot.
Arms equipped.
This thing is definitely is a better wingman from Apex. For one, just the fact that there's no bullet drop when you use this thing. No damage fall off either. Just straight, pure, precise damage. This is like, I just consider this maybe a sniper pistol or a hand cannon even, like a deagle. Just the straight damage that you can do. A base Riot 1 has the capability of killing someone in 4 headshots. For body shots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you have 6 bullets in there. So you can kill, with a base Riot, 1 person in a clip. Which, I mean, if you really think about it, comparing to the Ripper or the Hexfire, it doesn't seem like, oh, these guns can kill 3 people in 1 clip or 2 people in 1 clip. What this gun does that those others don't is consistent damage. I mean, the Ripper is good in that department of giving consistent damage, and so is the Hexfire, but this one just does it better. The Riot just does it better. If you're hitting someone like this,
need to reload.
The fact that you're taking chunks of health off and not just like a couple bullets, this will give you straight damage, instant damage, and not just poking at someone. Here, let me show you. If I have the Ripper,
base weapon.
Okay, here's the scenario. I'm chasing after someone, and then they just turn a quarter really quick. If I'm shooting at them with the Ripper, I might get lucky if I get 2 shots off. 24 damage. However, if I have the Riot, boom, 26 instantly. Boom, 26. I'm able to follow up with more damage instantly. And then if I get the headshot, just more damage. And at longer ranges, the Riot will be better than the Ripper. Let's see. What's the range? As far as possible. Oh, you know what? Let's go to the sniper one. That'll be better. Here we go. So we're gonna aim for this guy all the way back here. Now keep in mind, it's easy right now because they're not moving. But just imagine if they're moving. And with the Riot, the range is ridiculous.
Reloading.
The only thing that I find that can compete with this thing consistently at range is the protocol. Being that if you hit a headshot, obviously it's a one-shot kill for max. But again, maxed out Riot, 3-shot headshot. It's a 57. That's almost half. That's pretty much half the person's health gone in 1 bullet. One more. They're dead. Look at that. 12 damage remaining. A good combo that I like to run sometimes, Ripper, Riot. You start with a Riot, get the nice headshot in, switch to the Ripper, mow him down. Or if you don't want to use, or if you don't hit the headshot, 2 body shots, gone. If you take guns that take chunks of damage are paired with a weapon that can follow up with rapid fire, those are the guns that you want to be running. So for example, if you don't like the Riot, take the Mammoth. If you don't like the Mammoth, Skybreaker's there. Those 3 weapons are definitely really good weapons. All these. Skybreaker especially, if you have high ground on someone and you shoot, that's a huge chunk of health off. Max Skybreaker, look at this.
Qualitative improvement.
Max Skybreaker.
Interesting.
Do this.
Reloading.
Oh, you know what? Let's just do it like this. Max Skybreaker, this range, far away. 64 damage. This thing at range can kill someone in 2 hits. That's incredible. Especially with the splash damage, you can kill a whole squad in 2 hits if they're all bunched up together. You do this, you shoot them with a this thing, look at that.
Have to reload.
The damage output is ridiculous. Let's see this one. You say you're like someone's right here. Even this. 64. Oh no, that's... Hold on. I think that's paired with a riot. Let's see this thing by itself.
Reload.
Oh no, never mind. 64 damage that far. Look at this. So what I find the best loadout for me, I would recommend either Riot 1, Ripper, as you saw with the destructive power here.
Reloading.
Riot 1, Protocol.
Weapon potential maximized.
2 weapons that can deliver chunks of damage. If you are consistent with your shots, I suggest run this loadout. This is a loadout that can instantly destroy someone. Whether it being you just get the nice shot with the headshot with the Protocol, or you have the Riot, you hit them once, and then for the body shot, you want to follow it up it again.
Need to reload.
Hit someone twice at range, they get behind a corner or something, you poke out their head out, boom, gone. If you watch the streams, you can definitely see I run this loadout quite a bit. Just for the fact that how fast you can melt someone with this loadout. It speaks for itself. Alright, that's the weapons covered. Next, I want to talk about the hacks. So, in this game, there's a wide variety of hacks. So, you have Wall, Mine, Invisibility, Reveal, Health, Invulnerability, Ball, Teleport, Shockwave, and Slam. So what is that? 3, 6, 8, 10. 10 hacks in total. So you're able to change up... You're able to change the game with these hacks depending on what you have. Now, it's all on preference again, but I find that the best combination is 1 movement hack and 1 utility hack. So movement either being Teleport, Shockwave, or Slam. Shockwave is kind of like a 2-in-1. So Shockwave can be used to damage opponents, like so, or boost you up. And you get pretty high up. It can compete with the Slam in that department. Slam you go pretty high up as well. I think Slam is a little bit higher than Shockwave, but... actually they're about the same.
Better.
So 1 movement. So let's just get rid of that. Oh. There we go. And then 1 utility. Utility in the sense that whether it can help you out defending yourself, or it's a utility. I would consider Wall a utility, Ball a utility. Now, for me, I like Heal. You'll see this a lot. I will always pick up a Heal. That being, if I'm in an intense fight, and I'm 1v1ing someone, or I'm 2v1ing someone, especially in a building, this works a lot. If I put the health down and shoot someone, I'm still gonna be taking damage if they're hitting their shots. I'm still taking damage, but I'm not taking as much as I would if I didn't have the health. It'll keep restoring health, so that makes my survivability a lot better. So I'm able to put more shots into them, which could be the leading factor of winning a gunfight.
Reload.
Or if I'm in a sticky situation and I'm running away from someone, I'm in a building, I put down the health on the first floor, climb to the second floor and wait.
Weapons can be used to attack, break barricades, crack open loot crates, and destroy deployed enemy hacks. And you can find the perfect melee weapon to express your style in the store or in the battle pass.
Good to know. Okay. So these are the two hacks that I use. So another one is if you don't want to run heal, slam invisibility, teleport invisibility, some kind of movement with invisibility. The reason is being this. You can slam onto someone,
Interesting.
invis, they don't know where you are. You sneak up,
Reloading.
and you do that to them. Or
Better.
if you want to get away from someone, a good way is the movement, so slam in this case, and then teleporting midair. No one can see you. Very good way to just escape of someone that's following you. Now, the other ones, I'd say the least useful hack in the game is either going to be mine or reveal. Mine because it doesn't do that much damage. Look at this. So if I grab mine, place it down.
Processing.
Not what I meant to do. Grab a mine,
Improvement.
place it down. Okay. 30 damage. 30 damage. That's pretty much that's a max shockwave damage right there. That 30 damage is not going to do anything unless they're really low. Max mine.
Better.
Let's see. Max mine.
Utilized.
Max mine 45. Now you're getting somewhere. Like we said, chunk health is important. And that just got rid of a lot of health
Need to
in one
reload.
chunk, which is good. So if you're running mine, I'd say go for max mine. Anything less is it's just not good. You do that, mine, follow up, boom, dead. Now the next one, wall.
Acquired.
Wall is good, like so say I'm rezzing this person right here. Wall's good for this.
Interesting.
Walling it off, and then going for the res. This is pretty much the only use that I see, unless if you want to be cancerous and then just sit in a corner with the crown and then wall up, which I have seen before like this. Like this. Just sitting in a corner and then walled off. If you want to break a wall fast, the best way is doing it with your melee attack. It's a 4-hit. Does 50 damage against the wall. So, it's better to hit it with your melee instead of just shooting at it, just in case you didn't know. Now, on to training in the game. So I find that the best way to train before I go into a game, if I'm going into like a serious game that I'm going for kills and I want to do good, I'll do this. So I'll grab the weapons that I use the most and make them their base form. I don't want their max form. I want the base. So let's get a Ripper and let's get a Riot right here.
Base weapon acquired.
Like so. Got some ammo. Okay, there we go. So a good thing I like to do. Let's drop that and drop that. So what I like to do, I like to pick up a shockwave, and I go over here. I'll shockwave the enemy like this,
Evaluating.
and I try to shoot at them while they're falling down, or just track them. Because tracking in this game is important. If you don't track a person, then you're not gonna how you're expected to hit any shots.
Have to reload.
So I'll get the max shockwave because I just want it as fast as possible like this. So let's start with a Riot. I'll shockwave someone, boom. See like that? I missed a few times. I'll keep redoing that until I hit all bullets. Here, do it again. See, I missed one.
Ammo check.
Try it again.
Utilized.
There we go. And then I'll move on. So now it's the Ripper. Ripper, I'm excusing myself a few missed shots. Boom, Ripper. Tracking, like that. When someone's in the air, they can be the most dangerous, but also can be the most vulnerable. Especially if you're the one making them go in the air. Like that. There's nothing they can do in that situation unless go higher, put either defend themselves or go invisible. That's it. If they don't have any of those things, then they're screwed. Especially just someone who can hit their shots.
Reloading.
That's a little training thing that I like to do. Or, it'd be the other way around. I would go myself in the air and then shoot down at someone. Because I find that I have the most difficulty shooting down, directly down on someone. Yeah, let's get up here.
Wait.
Like, huh. Oh, I can get up here. There we go. Here we go.
Processing.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, here we go. Okay, so shooting directly down on someone, but I mean straight down, like vertically. Say they're right here. For me, it's really weird.
Need
I
to
don't know.
reload.
But yeah, this is definitely a very good training exercise that I would recommend you do. Especially if you want to use the riot one. A lot of people are going to be in the air, so you want to hit your shots while they're midair. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, movement, really quick. Movement, and then that'll be it. So when you're moving in the game, some people say that the fastest way to move is sprint, crouch, jump. Sprint, crouch, jump, and repeat, like this. That's only good if you're about to follow up the jump with a vault. So like say you want to go... It's a good place I can do it. There's not many good places here. Okay, say you want to run here, do this, and then vault. Then it's good. But if you're just moving along the ground, the fastest way to actually do it is to sprint, cancel, sprint like this. This is the fastest way to do it. Because if you do this, you're wasting time in air. And you're not getting as much momentum as you think. Yeah. If you do this, and just keep sprinting, sliding, slide cancel, sprint, slide cancel. And if you don't know how to slide cancel, it's just pressing your slide button again. That's all it is. And when jumping up, don't forget about your double jumps. They help a lot. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, if you guys want me to do another one that's a lot more in-depth, like specifics, very specific stuff, then let me know. But other than that, that's pretty much the basics of Hyperscape. It's just, the way I find to get good at the game is just practice. Practice aiming. Definitely be the one. Don't just stand still. I'm not saying like just spend like 10 hours a day in training and then shoot. No. Spend like 5-6 minutes before you start playing and then just shoot. Just track enemies. Don't stand still while shooting because that's just really bad game practice. You never want to be standing still in this game, no matter what. You always want to be moving.
Ammo check.
Also crouching, you know, tightens the spread of bullets, so you're more able to get consistent shots. Some people like to crouch spam. I mean, crouching and then hopping. This is also a good dodging tactic. Crouch, hop, like this. You want to be unpredictable.
Reload.
Alright, yep, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed the video, please, if you want to, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.